Hey everybody, today I'm going to be comparing Memoria Press Traditional Logic to Master Book's Introduction to Logic. So, you might be wondering what the similarities and differences are, and we are going to cover that today. So, at the very basic level, the Master Books comes with two books. It has the book that you read, this is non-consumable, and it has the teacher guide, which includes the student worksheets, the answer key, and the quizzes and tests. On the other hand, the Memoria Press comes with a teacher key and a separate workbook. So what Master Books combines into one book, Memoria Press has into two, plus of course the actual reader. Now, a huge difference is that Memoria Press has video instruction. Master Books has no video instruction. So with the Traditional Logic from Memoria Press, you can either get the DVDs, and that would make the entire set $75, or you can get online streaming access to the videos, and that would make the whole set $66. On the other hand, the Master Book set with no video instruction at all, it's not even an option, is cheaper at only $40.69. Another huge difference is that the Master Books program is designed for 180 days, although there is only 38 chapters, and it's my opinion that you don't actually need to do this every day, so we'll just leave it at that. But the Traditional Logic from Memoria Press is designed to be only a one-semester course, in fact 15 weeks, and even then at the beginning the author says that because there's only 13 chapters, a lot of times they get through it in even quicker than 15 weeks. So this is, one semester versus whole year program. Another difference is that the Master Books is for grades 8 to 10, and the Memoria Press Traditional Logic is for high school. However, the author does say in the beginning that he has used it with 7th and 8th graders, and it has gone well. All right, now that all the basic information is out there, let's talk a little bit more specifically. So, the Master Books Introduction to Logic really has a Christian worldview focus, whereas the Memoria Press Traditional Logic is a Christian publisher, and they have a truth and specifically a Christian truth focus, that there is a such thing as truth, and that's really deconstructed in chapters 1 to 3. So they are both a Christian curriculum. However, the view or the focus is slightly different, where this is the Christian worldview, where this is the Christian truth. And so they overlap a lot, but I would say that Master Books in general tends to have the upper hand on Christian worldview simply because that is what their company is all about. Okay, that all being said, there is some huge differences in these two programs. So the biggest difference is the type of logic that you're studying. And so with the Master Books, you are studying informal fallacies, or what is also known as modern logic, okay? With the Memoria Press, you are studying traditional logic, which is formal logic, and there are no informal fallacies included in traditional logic. However, they do include formal fallacies. So they're actually covering completely different things. So it's, in a way, it's comparing apples to oranges, because these are two completely different things. But I think as homeschoolers, we just think, oh, logic, and we don't know what to go with. But actually, these are totally different things. And even in the Traditional Logic book, they really feel that formal logic is really valuable to developing your mind, but they did say that doesn't mean that there is no point in learning informal fallacies. It's just they at Memoria Press do not focus on it, because if you're not familiar with Memoria Press, they are focused on a classical education, and so training the mind is extremely important with a classical education. Okay, so that is really the biggest difference, is that they're covering two completely different things. So can you use both of these books? Absolutely. Which one would I use first? Personally, I would use the Introduction to Logic first. Informal fallacies. I think informal fallacies are more fun, and I think the layout of the Master Books book is more fun. I think the formal logic really does stretch your mind and is more challenging. So I would do Introduction to Logic before I did Traditional Logic. Keep in mind, there's also a Traditional Logic 2 after this. I don't have that. I've never seen it. I can't give any input on that except for it follows Traditional Logic 1. Okay, so let's see what else I was going to talk about. All right. Well, the other thing that I wanted to show you was inside the book so you can get a look at them. So let's start with the master books. Again, if you're not familiar with master books, the teacher guides is what I would consider a student workbook. I don't really know why they call them teacher guides, but that's what they do. But master books is kind of handy where it does have this up here where it says the title, or that it's a teacher guide, the grade level it's for, and includes student worksheets. They consider this a philosophy course. It includes a weekly lesson schedule, student worksheets, quizzes and test and answer keys. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. The Memoria Press Traditional Logic, you can purchase the lesson plans, but they have to be purchased separately. You can get them digital or you can get them printed and mailed to you, whichever one you prefer. But if you want it day by day written out what you should do, you don't want to have to, figure it out yourself, then you do need to purchase the lesson plans separately, whereas the master books comes with the lesson plans right in here. So that is another difference. That's what I was forgetting. Okay, so the master books always has, at the very beginning, it has this little info sheet about how to use the teacher guide, and it says this should take probably 30 to 45 minutes per lesson, 5 days a week. Now, they've broken it down each day for you what you should do. However, I think this would be very easy to just do 1 chapter a week. Now, most people do 36-week school years. However, we happen to do 39-week school years. It's just the way it usually works out with our schedule. So 1 chapter a week would be fine. But even if you do a 36-week schedule, I think, for a couple weeks you could double up. But I think really you could simplify this schedule is my point. But if you don't want to have to think about that and you want to do exactly what it says every single day, then you have 180 days laid out for you. Okay? Then we have the worksheet. So there's 1 worksheet per chapter. Okay, so 1 worksheet per chapter in the master books. At the very end of the course, there are some practice sheets, and these are done the last couple days of the course where they're identifying the fallacies. Okay, so that's just the last couple days of the course they're doing that. And then, of course, we have the quizzes and final exam. So you see this quiz covers chapter 1 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 30, so it's not exactly even. Notice that. It's not exactly like a set amount of chapters. And then we have the final exam, which covers the entire book, and then we have the answer key. Now, let me show you the book that you read from Master Books. This is the student reader. This is non-consumable. So if you had more than 1 student, they could share this book. So it lists the table of contents here and there. So I'll go ahead back to this page in case you want to pause. And of course, this one. Now, as you can see, the chapters are short, okay? That is it. That is a chapter. Also, notice the pages are visually appealing, I would say. I do think Master Books did make these pages visually appealing, easy to look at. The key terms are highlighted nicely so you can get an idea of what those are, but I don't think this book is intimidating at all. I think this book looks very doable for, even your average student. Okay, so yeah, this book is engaging to me. It does have a glossary in the back, so that is handy too. And it has this informal fallacies at a glance and a quick reference guide there. Now, in comparison, let's take a look at the Memoria Press. So here's the text of the Memoria Press Traditional Logic. This is, again, the introduction to formal logic. So as you can see, here are the table of contents right here. And then we get into a note to the teacher. I do recommend reading this. That was very helpful to me. And then we go into what is logic. But as you can see, this is, very much text on a page. It is not as visually appealing as the master books. And so a struggling learner might oppose this more. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, then we have the student workbook. Okay, and my daughter wrote a little bit in this so far, but let me show you when that's not done. Okay, chapter 3. So see all of these. I want to show you the whole lesson. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 full pages of work for chapter 3 versus, let's go to chapter 3 here. We've got front and back of this 10 questions here, where we have 36 questions here. Okay, and this looks just more in depth as well, okay, because it is a study of formal logic and it is going to challenge your student. Then of course we have the teacher key, which is exactly what it says. It is a teacher key with the answers filled in. So you always have to remember the difference between a teacher key and a teacher guide. Neither one of them necessarily have information for the teacher to give the lessons. However, this is written, directly to the students. However, you do get that video instruction with the Memoria Press course. But ultimately, I think this is truly comparing apples to oranges, two completely different things. But I hope this helps give you an idea of the differences and what these are all about so that you can make a decision on what would be best for your student. I am, of course, going to put links in the description box of where you can find both of these items, and they are affiliate links, so that means I just get a little bit of credit if you purchase them using my links or purchase anything else using my links, and I really do appreciate it so much. I can't honestly tell you how much I appreciate it. But anyway, that is what we have here. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love all things homeschool and you love curriculum like I do, definitely hit that subscribe button because this is the place to be. And I will talk with you soon.